Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and people who don't subscribe to typified normalized gender roles or categories. Uh, this is me, Tom, and I have a reflection in my glasses that I'll never ever escape. It's frustrating. Anyway, I wonder if I can. Uh, I'm in a good mood actually, and I haven't done one of these in a while, and I probably owe anyone who decides that they are going to follow this series for whatever reason a new episode. Well, no, I don't know owe anyone anything, but I've been meaning to make one of these for a while. I wonder if I can. Whoa. I'm not sure how long it's been since the last one, but a lot of shit was going on, and well, yeah, all that self discovery I did, right, dude? Oh man, I've done so much more shit since then. Um, okay, well, I've applied a lot of what I was talking about before, and I've been continuing this good streak that I'm on, and honestly, I'm reaping the rewards. To be honest, this sense of finally reaching some sort of destination or milestone, not a destination. Destination seems a bit end or finalized. Um, I'd say more, like a milestone in terms of personal development where I feel like, you know, I'm quite comfortable in my own brain and mind. I was actually listening to the first episode today and listening to how loose and incoherent it was, and all the issues that I was discussing that I have, and a lot of what I was thinking about and talking about is I wouldn't say resolved, but I've learned how to deal with it quite quite well or efficiently, to the point where I feel like I was at this point in my life, like I was saying, where I can't really trust anyone because no one ever will have your best interest at heart, and that's probably true, but that was coming from a place of isolation and loneliness because of all the things that have happened to me in my own life, but also because I think I had so much going on that I didn't really have energy for other people. Like I was so focused on myself and trying to fix, or like trying to remedy my own shortcomings, or what else would you call it? My own, what I perceive to be my glaring issues. And well, basically, I feel like I've gotten to the point now where I'm all of that mental bandwidth has been, it's been, consider a hard drive, right? E.g., your brain. And if you defragment it, which basically takes loose pieces of data that correlate, and you bring them together so it takes up less space. Consider that as being what I've done in the last month or two, where I've had these issues that, frankly, I've been dealing with for such a long time, kind of come to a point where I have learnt to manage them so well that I have so much more energy now to spend in other parts of my life. I was so caught up in what I thought was such glaring issues, I guess, that to sorry to even um, I really need to get a proper setup for this. I'm so sorry for anyone watching. Um, basically, what was I saying? But yeah, now I feel like I have energy to include other people in my life without it being such a drama, basically. And I've yeah, that's changed. Like things have happened in the last like weeks, last couple of weeks that really reflect that. And I mean, I'm some part of me is reluctant to use the word happy, but I feel like it's relatively applicable. I think probably because when I was younger, or maybe back in when I first recorded that first episode, I wasn't really, the idea of being quote unquote happy was so foreign that it's hard to accept it once it's here because you kind of expect something greater. Anyway, what did I want to talk about tonight? Um, there's so much, man. Like, there's so many. All right, basically, I've been thinking now that when I first started this series, it was more like, oh, I've got so much going on in my brain, all these issues I want to solve, blah 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 blah. I need someone to like let off some steam and express myself because I'm not a very expressive person, and I think that needs to change. And this is definitely a good avenue for me to do that. Um, and now, with all these issues having been relatively resolved, I'm kind of wondering like, what do I do with this now? Like, I've started something, and I enjoy it. I really like doing this. Um, where do I take it? What do I want to just stop, like, and just, oh well, all these things. The reason I've kind of started it has pretty much been resolved. Where do I go? What do I do with this? Do I just leave it? And obviously, because I enjoy it, no, hey, this train ain't stopping, baby. We gonna fucking chuck a bunch of non-fossil fuel coal in that engine slash raging fire and full uh, steam towards something that I think would be. Oh, this is my favorite thing about this. Is I have to articulate the way I feel, um, or these ideas in my head. I've been watching a lot of philosophy videos on YouTube, and I kind of I like the idea of explaining things and um, articulating certain what I consider to be my own knowledge in words, right? And I was thinking maybe I could just keep doing that, And camera's over here. I'm looking over there. uh, like not so much like maybe like a lecture, because I mean that's basically what this is, right? This is a lecture to no one because I'm just speaking like a massive auditorium, aka my bedroom, and there is no one here listening unless they decide to sign in and do so, and that's fine. So if I want to keep doing that, I could talk about things that I'm passionate about and actually properly express myself and my interests in a way where I can do so without judgment or pretty much just do it freely. And I'm probably going to do that. So if anyone wants to keep watching this, I might rename this series or start another series. Tom's brain dumps will probably continue because obviously things are going to happen. Like happiness is fleeting, and to say I'm happy right now, it's probably fairly accurate. But shit happens. And I'm going to need a place to vent for that, and I will probably do so. We're using the Tom's Brain Dump series, but if there isn't shit going on and I still want to talk about stuff, then I will probably do so either on this channel or another one. Probably this one, to be honest, because I can't be fucked making another one. Maybe down the line, if it gets traction, I will, just to make it easier for other people. But right now, it seems like I'll probably just keep shit here and keep that gravy train rolling, baby. um. Anyways, um, I recall discussing my own personal philosophy in previous episodes, and I think I wanted to really dive deeper into that. Like I've discussed ideas, but they've all been very loose. And like this is what's in my brain. This is what I can conjure up right now. Therefore, I'm going to talk about it. Also, quick side note: I just remembered. In the description for my last video, I did say that I was going to upload a conclusion to the last one. I completely forgot what I was talking about. I haven't listened to it, and I really want to talk about this, so I'm going to do this. But I apologize that video ended so abruptly. Basically, my phone decided that even though it says I can record for about an hour right now, it's going to cut out a half an hour anyway. So, whoops. Anyway, my personal philosophy is something I want to talk about a lot because I mean, to me, my philosophy as it stands, like I've said before, I'm very pragmatic and logical. It seems like because it was when I adopted this personal philosophy, it seemed quite like as soon as I really realized that it was applicable, it seems so obvious, as a solution to these issues like anxiety and worrying and overthinking, which I do a lot. Um, it just it worked so well that it seemed like, how do people not like do this all the time? So without further ado, I will discuss that now. And basically, the about a year ago, actually, probably about like May, April last year, I stumbled across the school of thought known as Stoicism. Some people watching may know what that is. A lot of people probably don't. Um, Stoicism is an ancient Greek philosophy that basically, the contemporary definition of or idea of the concept of being stoic is more like, if it's raining, you stand in the rain completely unhinged, or not unhinged. That's a terrible word. Unaffected. You're quite devoid of emotion or feeling. You just take things for what they are and move on. Which, there's certain aspects of that are accurate, but I believe that it's not, the lack of emotion. You're not not feeling anything. It's just that you're not succumbing or letting emotions dominate how you act, which is something that I still have trouble with. But through learning the tenets and ideas that philosophy, the Stoic philosophy provides, or not provides, but puts forward, I kind of it just gave me a better perspective that kind of helped for me, and I would like to talk about it because I think that it could probably help other people too. So when I first got introduced to Stoicism, I bought the a copy of the book Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and I found that to be just the fact that it exists as a book to be quite interesting. Basically, if anyone is unaware of who Marcus Aurelius was, he was one of the emperors of Rome during their peak around the 80-ish AD, I believe. Don't quote me on any of this. This is literally just come from my brain. And he was, if you are the supreme ruler of the most powerful empire on the planet, you are essentially the most powerful person on the planet. And you think, okay, well, what does this have to do with philosophy, right? Well, Meditations is his personal journal, or like his account. Well, it's more like, if you read it, it's less a journal and more a conversation he has with himself, where he's reminding himself that even despite the fact that he could literally pick someone off the street and kill them with no consequence, he's still making the effort to be the best version of himself, like I like to do. He's still trying to remind himself that, like, he needs to get out of bed in the morning just like everyone else. Like, he needs to display virtue and whatever what that entails, being like justice and all the Stoic tenets like along those lines. Um, Let me think of some examples of the things he says. Uh, Let me think. I haven't read it in a little while. I'm kind of blanking now, but the basic gist of the entire book really is his journals as he's at war while he's writing this as well, which I found to be quite interesting. Dealing with the idea of being a good person while you're actively, fighting another state or country or nation, whatever you want to call it. I mean, the entire concept of this book exists is quite admirable and interesting. There are other philosophers that also fit in with this philosophy, like Epictetus, Seneca, and these are all ancient Greek figures. But I, what's more important is the ideas surrounding, and I think the most important idea that Stoicism puts forward at the moment, or as it is as a philosophy, is that there are things that we can and cannot control. And in life, there are only two things that as an individual we have control over. And those things are our thoughts and our actions. So two things. Anything else is outside of our control. And if we understand that, then we know that if we can't control something, what is the point in worrying about it? Why be anxious about something you have no control over? It's just pointless worry, pointless suffering, right? Just stop and accept that if things happen completely outside of your ability to control them, then so be it. There's nothing you can do. And if you can control them, then do so. Exercise that ability and make your life better. But that's not really as much as the point as the former point. So how that has really affected me, I guess, is I like overthinking things. Well, I don't like it. I just have a tendency to do so, and for me, kind of, I'm also very impulsive. Which I mean, when you're impulsive, like in the way I am, you kind of just like if a thought comes to your head, and you immediately embrace it as how you feel. So, my biggest issue with impulsivity is food. I have struggled with my eating for as long as I can remember. You know, like if I were to make a confession, I have suffered from an eating disorder, um, and just what I put into my body and how I feel about food has always been something that I've had issues dealing with, and that this Stoic philosophy has helped because it helped me realize that like impulsivity and thoughts just pop into your head. If you take a step back and just look at that thought as it is, it's not particularly how you feel. It's just something that like an urge or what they consider to be vice. And there are other tactics I use to deal with that from outside philosophies, but like I can't remember where I was going with this, but I'll just move on. What else is good about Stoicism? Um, there are other like aspects like the fear of death they deal with memento mori, which is remember your death really or mortality and like ruminate on it, where you consider like your own death and just think about it often. And personally, I've never had the issue of being afraid of death. I believe it's a natural part of life. That's probably another a whole video by itself, to be honest. But um, you know, to think about one's demise really thoroughly, and it really, I mean, a lot of people can't do that anyway. So where was I going with that? This is hard to explain. I mean, that's not, I've never had to deal with that personally, so it's very just had to explore that as much. I don't really. I mean, to be honest, I do think about that. I thought about my own death prior to um, learning of Stoicism. It like I've always had a grotesque curiosity, or you know, I like experiencing or exposing myself to the realities of existence. Everyone's seen those fucked up videos on YouTube. Someone's seen something like that along their time, I guess. Stoicism. What else is good about Stoicism? Yeah, I think the main thing it did for me was the anxiety and overthinking. Like, it's hard to be anxious about things when you can't control them. Logically, as a logical person, but damn, my brain's getting scattered now. I'm up to 20 minutes. All right, well, I think I'm gonna bail on that topic of discussing stoicism because I'm obviously ill-equipped to do so. Um, but I encourage anyone who's interested to do a little bit of research and find out for yourselves a bit more because I'm literally the worst resource you could probably access for a description on the philosophy and what it entails, but you know, I do believe that it is effective when dealing with issues of anxiety, fear of the lack of control. Um, damn, I know that it's done more for me, but I really can't think of it right now, so I'm gonna move on. Um, what else would I like to talk about? Oh, that I was gonna make another video actually about identity. You know, something that is a big issue in the world right now. But for me personally, I've never really actually considered that much. And I wonder how long I have left on this. I'll give it another 4 minutes. Um, let's say. So, I think identity is interesting in the sense of, there's all these political issues going on right now about transgenderism and non-binary, and like all these ideas floating around about how gender is a spectrum and stuff. And I'm not going to say that I agree or disagree. I don't think that it's objective either way. I think that it depends on the individual. And personally, I've been playing with ideas surrounding that, like as a person and as someone who, for the longest time, has identified as a man or a boy. I do display feminine traits, right? Like I used to wear nail polish to school. A lot of people don't know that. I pluck my eyebrows. I like wearing makeup occasionally, but I don't know how to do it, so it's only when I have like an excuse, e.g., a party or a costume. Um, I, it's odd to think that communicating how you feel is a feminine thing to do, but apparently it is. Um, what else? And I mean, either way, I've been described by people as a feminine man, and sorry, you know, I don't feel like I am not a man, but I don't feel that. I mean, it's hard to know really these days. I feel like the definition of what a man is just changing all the time because because of what people are wanting to change it to. And I guess if people were to change that definition, everyone else is forced to reconsider themselves, kind of in a way. And that's something I'm trying, like, I guess I'm doing now. But I've always felt like I am a dude. So um, I'm not going to say that I don't feel like I am, but I will say that I do display feminine traits, and my point is that I would like to explore that a little. I am personally quite probably fairly well described as hypersexual. Um, I'm not straight. That's something. I don't think I've actually mentioned that on here before. I closely relate to the label that people use that is commonly referred to as pansexuality, but personally I don't like using labels. I find them to be constrictive. So I mean, I just like who I like, I guess. But I feel like there are aspects of my sexuality that are left to be explored, and I would like to probably make an episode about that at some point. I'm not going to say that's the next one, but it's on my mind right now, so maybe. But hey, this is technically still a brain dump then, isn't it? Um, but yeah, it's something I've been tossing up, kind of exploring. I probably will. You know, like 99% of my friends are female. I get along with females well. I struggle to get along with men, to be honest. It's quite weird. But we're running out of time now, and I've quite my whole like mood is shifted at the beginning of this video. I was so like upbeat, but I'm just excited to be doing this again, and I would like to sign off now because I'm afraid this is gonna do what it did last time and not have the ability to record for as much time as it says for whatever reason. So I'll leave you with this series of thoughts that I've been sharing in the last 25 minutes to do with whatever you please, I guess. I don't know what people really do after they watch these. Probably go watch cat videos or something. Yeah. So, good night, people. It is currently 10 past 9. And it's nighttime here, so it's raining as well. I'm not sure if you can hear that. But anyway. Hang on. There we go. Au revoir. Good night. Good night.